Hey everybody, thanks for checking out the Backyard Gardens podcast.
If you like what we're doing and you want to continue to support the podcast, head over to our Patreon page to sign up.
You can also make a one-time donation using PayPal. Both of these links are in the description.
With your support, we can continue growing and helping others in their gardens. See ya!
What do collards, kale, spinach, and turnips all have in common? We're about to break them all down for you, everything you want to know in the upcoming minisodes, right here on the Backyard Gardens podcast, Minisode.
To have a good harvest, one must plant good seeds and must also use the right kind of fertilizer. The carrots have grown large and firm. How good they will taste.
Welcome to the Backyard Gardens podcast, where we talk about all things gardening and give the information out for you to be successful in your garden, whether it's your first or your last. We are your hosts, Ben, the backyard gardener, and
Batavia, the front yard gardener.
one in the country,
One in the city.
Now get ready as we dig deep into this wonderful world of gardening as we learn to grow and grow for change. Mind-blowing it is, mind-blowing.
Okay.
So, everybody, thank you for being here. I am Ben Gardner, and I'm with my lovely co-host, Batavia. And our minisodes are taking a turn. We're going to try something new because we've had some requests and a lot of specific requests, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. Wait, I just want to clarify. It's not turning like zombie apocalypse type turning.
Oh, no, it is. Yeah.
Okay, good. Because I've been training for it, man.
Can we see the garden you have behind your garage that you've been training with? Because I want to know what's growing in that one.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. But no, seriously, we want to have, this is something that I've talked about for a while, and we even brought it up last year and couldn't figure out how to put it into an episode, and then the minisodes were born. We gave birth to the minisodes, and it's a perfect thing. So we are going to break them down. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it because it gives us a chance to hone in on a particular vegetable. You've listed the ones that we'll be covering off on, and really in like a structured way, which really speaks to the part of me that wants to be organized in my mind. You know, let's learn these things about all of these vegetables. I'm hoping that it'll be something that people go back to and listen to and re-listen to and re-listen to. So
I will, because I'm excited about it, because I have to research it and then we have to break it down. So I'm going to, even though I know a lot about these plants, it's really going to put it to where I really know it. Yeah. Because I can't come on here and spout some woo-woo. Like in my head, I got some woo-woo, but I got to know that it's for sure real. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, this is creating the beginning of a library of sorts.
Right.
You know, when it comes to some of these plants. And some of our favorites, too, that we've started off with.
I'd like to keep it real into our age group. It's not a library. It's an encyclopedia. That's right.
You're keeping
taking it back.
Look, you're keeping it really real, son. Yeah, I get you. Okay.
So what we're going to do is we're going to break each one of the vegetables that we talked about. We're going to do, each week, we're going to do one. So collards, kale, spinach, and turnips. 4 weeks. And then we're going to break them down, each one like this. When to grow, planting, spacing. So planting means special considerations about it. I mean, what is that?
Yeah, like how much. So planting and spacing will probably go hand in hand. So when to plant, where to plant, how much space these plants need, whether it's width or height. Right.
Yeah.
So all three of those first two kind of, and that's the reason why we geniusly ordered it in that way. Yep. Go hand in hand.
And then special notes. So anything that would kind of stick out that's like, hey, be careful. No, you need to know this part about this plant. Companions, foes. Well, you know how we love to talk about companion planting in this show.
Yeah, and this is the exact reason why there are two of us here. Because when I rage against the machine when it comes to companions, Ben can pull us back in and say, okay, let's listen. Let's talk facts here.
How am I going to pull you back when I'm right there with you? Like, I'm just one step behind you. You know, I only do it because I'm obligated to do it because everybody yells at me to do it.
Well, then that's when Leonard comes in. and
You broke up.
That's when Leonard comes in. Yeah. That's when he's able to kind of, rack our knuckles with the ruler, remember in school, and get us back in line.
So last year when we did the companion podcast, the companion planning show, the listeners was very divided. It was very divided, kind of like our Democrat and Republican in the country right now. It was, I mean, it was very different. Yeah. And we were told on a couple occasions what the deal was. So, which is okay. That is quite all right. So we're going to do companions, and which includes foes. We're going to do pests, diseases, harvesting notes, anything like that, different uses. And if we have time, we'll get into if there's any kind of different variety that can fit something different. And then when it's all said and done, on the last episode, we're going to tell you how we eat it.
Yeah. So I actually like the second. So that's basically 10 items, right? You know, because we love a good list. So you went through 10 different things. And I like the second half of that, because the first is kind of like when you're starting your first garden, you kind of get an idea of those things, when, you know, spacing and all of that, if you're trying to research it. The second half is basically like, you know, kind of the area people get into trouble, you know, so disease, pest. It's such a common question. When is this ready to harvest? Right.
Yeah. The hardest thing for me is going to be diseases.
I was just going to say, I pretend like I don't get them.
You say that, but if we go back and look throughout, or listen throughout the year, we talked about diseases quite a bit this year. Tomatoes and cucumbers are particular ones.
Yeah, and I don't want to, you know, do a spoiler, but my version of how you handle disease is, you know, move on from the plant. You know, say your goodbyes, you know. Yeah. No, but again, the idea, as you said when you opened up, we're going to be digging in on these plants in advance of the episode, so we can give you some useful information. Because in all honesty, disease doesn't mean the end of plants, right? You know, there are a bunch of things that we're doing and we talk about throughout the year that should help you stay on top of things like disease, right?
Imagine if you got a disease and you went to the doctor and they're like,
that's it.
Screw it. You're done. Yeah. Just here's a shovel. Go start digging your hole and lay down. You know, it's like a totally treatable disease.
Like every disease, like that's the answer to it. You know?
Yeah, you're done. Yeah. You know, I mean, it's just, so the way that this is going to go down is, so we've calculated this out. So we want to know if you guys want to do this, but one at a time. You know, if we did one this month, one next month, we wouldn't really know. So we're doing a handful of them. So the more you guys listen and let us know, so reach out and let us know if you like this kind of stuff, then we will continue to break them down and, you know, go through. We did these for this time of year because this is what people are growing now. So, you know, some of us are either growing, have started, or going to start, whatever. A lot of these common vegetables. And I mean, seriously, who do you think said collards when we were taking a vote? It wasn't me, and it wasn't Leonard. Spoiler alert, it was definitely Batavia. So, and
who demanded that it was going to be the first on the list? I actually Batavia. that wasn't my call, but I'm so happy about it. So happy.
We can still change that too, just so you know. But
it is probably the second most requested vegetable that my friends and family have for my garden.
Yeah, mine is actually nobody requests any of my food because they ain't getting none. No. It's, you know, I'm not against any of these vegetables particularly, but there's some of the ones that we had talked about that I am kind of against. So I'm glad we didn't do those.
So another reason why I'm looking forward to this kind of mini series of mini episodes is, you know, we kind of take for granted that everyone grows some of the things we're growing. Right. And the reality is that some, especially kind of regionally, right, some vegetables just don't make it into some folks' gardens. And in a lot of cases, they could. Right. So, you know how I feel about trying something new in the garden. I'm hoping that maybe something that, you know, a listener picks up from these episodes will encourage them to actually plant some of these things if they already aren't.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you know, when you travel through the social media world, because you know how we love social media gardening, and it's our love-hate relationship with it, but you see what people are growing, you're like, ooh, I want to try that.
Yeah.
I want to try that.
You know that,
And then, so this is kind of a method to be like, where maybe we'll stumble across something that you haven't tried. So for instance, I posted a picture today of my little lettuce seedling, and I stated that I have never grown head lettuce before, ever. And I was curious how many people are growing head lettuce. So one, I don't really like head lettuce. It kind of makes me mad because it's difficult to eat. But I would be willing to try it because it interests me, and just to grow it, you know, it's not like it's like, oh, this is terrible lettuce. It tastes awful. It's just too crunchy for me.
Yeah.
But, and then I had another listener / friend. She reached out to me and she was like, I listened to your last episode, that it was what we had just released. And you know, I'd stated that I struggle with spinach. And she's like, I got these spinach seeds. They're good for our area. I'm going to send them to you. So I was
nice.
like, yeah, so it's really cool because I can try these out. So I'm going to send her some seeds as well. Thank you, Brianna. But,
you're not giving me any room to get the bell in. I'm like,
look, this is the Minisode. You got to be in it, girl.
I'm tripping over my coffee cup, my flashlight. Why I have a flashlight on my desk right now, I'm not sure, but I'm trying to get to it, and you're just like bulldozing ahead, man.
Hey, look, this is a Minisode. We got to roll through it, and I can barely see my clock again, so I'm like squinting.
We have like 16, 17 more minutes. What are you talking about?
Oh, you good, you good. But I agree with what you said, though, where like turnips might not be something that you grow, but maybe by the time we get done talking specifically about turnips, you might be interested. So maybe we should name these episodes, You Might Want to Grow X. You might want to grow collards. You might want to grow turnips.
I thought we were going with, we demand you grow X.
That's better. Go grow it, damn it.
But to Ben's point, we
I made a point.
Well, just one.
Okay.
To Ben's singular point, we're really interested in other vegetables that you guys think will make a good fit for these types of episodes if we continue to do them in the future. I think did we swap out one? I think lettuce was on the list and then we pulled it.
We put turnips in its place.
Yeah,
still a little upset about that.
I love lettuce, but that's a different conversation.
Not really.
We must have.
That's kind of what we're here for. Well, and I mean, the thing is we want to keep them seasonal. So I know that we've stated that, you know, hey, we're creating an encyclopedia, so you can always go back, but most people listen in current time. So these would be things coming up.
Yeah.
And we're actually going to try and base it in between our zones so we can plant. Yes, ma'am. You raised your hand.
That whole voice you did regarding encyclopedia, I want you to know that's exactly how I hear your voice. Right? That whole like that's how I hear your voice.
That's how you hear my voice all the time?
Absolutely.
Oh, that's
absolutely.
horrible. That's horrible. Well, did I just talk like this the whole time?
Yeah. You don't have to. It translates over that way. Yeah.
I wonder if all the listeners think that too.
Like,
damn,
so
now
that's
I'm super self-conscious.
Yeah, like you're some type of cartoon character or something.
Yeah. Goofy.
Scooby-Doo is what I was thinking. But anyway, all right, let's stay focused. We only have 28 more minutes in the episode.
Yeah. So, yeah, I'm super pumped. I'm excited because I'm going to learn a lot about it. I can all the things here. I have definite questions about each one of them that I'm going to be forced to not only learn about, but I'm actually going to have to write it down. So guess what? I'm going to write it down in my gardening notebook.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. And so I encourage you guys, if you're down for this, get yourself a notebook because we're going deep, like deep.
Yeah. So. Or the note section in your phone, because that's what I'm going to do. You know, this is all about options. This is the reason why, two of us are here.
Or hashtag not sponsored. You could try a Rocket Book, which I've heard great things about, and I'm tempted.
I've not heard of it, and I'm not interested.
It's like a notebook that you write stuff down, and then you take a picture of your phone, and it automatically puts it into a note form and puts it into your drive for you and organizes it. It sounds a little too complicated for me, but my buddy's trying it out, so stay tuned. Not really, but... I'm not big into writing with markers. My handwriting sucks. I write like a psycho.
Yeah, and I like the idea of being able to scratch something off, which is the reason why it works so well electronically. Nothing's ever permanent, ever.
So now that we've gone off topic, let's get back on. We're going to do plant profiles starting next week with Minisode, and we will do them. So if you like them, let us know, because we will keep doing them. If we don't and you guys don't listen, then we won't do them. It's a total test. We love a good garden experiment, especially a good gardening podcast experiment. And on that note, if you aren't, you should become a patron and help support us so we can keep this show on the road for you guys. Be safe, wear a mask, have fun in your gardens, and go outside. Take your hand, open it as wide as you can, and stick it down as deep as you can in the ground in your garden. Pull it out and just look at that dirt, because you made that dirt. It's beautiful and you've taken care of it all year and you deserve it. Batavia, tell them something good.
We need to get you on decaf. See ya.
A lot of y'all asked, how can you help support the Backyard Gardens podcast? Well, we have been busy and we have created a t-shirt line just for the gardener.
To visit our shop, go to the link in the show notes and check out the t-shirts and other goodies we have.
Now, these are super special t-shirts designed just for the gardener, so enjoy. Thank you for supporting the Backyard Gardens podcast, and we'll see you guys after the harvest. Thanks for hanging out with us today. If you want to see what we're up to, or just stay up to date on all the announcements regarding the show or anything gardening, then you can follow us on Instagram at Backyard Gardens TV.
We love seeing what you guys are doing, so use hashtag BYG podcast in your posts, and we'll be sharing your gardens with the Backyard Gardens community.
And check us out on YouTube at Backyard Gardens, where we will post this show, all of our other shows, clips, and then also some gardening tips and just gardening entertainment. And you can see us at our website at backyardgardenstv.com. But that's it for today's show. So help us as we learn to grow and grow for change. And until next time, we'll catch you guys later. We'll call this one a wrap.
Now you know why people feel like celebrating at harvest time.
All over the world, people have feasting and good times when the crops have been gathered in.